Well, I think first and foremost, the content of the town hall program with the representatives comes from previous gatherings of citizens talking to each other and coming up with the sort of questions that are on their minds. And so I would hope that those who are watching or will watch the town hall meeting will get a sense that the questions that are being asked are the sorts of questions they would like to ask their representatives if they were in the room with them. There's no doubt that you know, if you are living in Philadelphia, for example, you can relate to local government because it's right there. You deal with it every day. State government's a little bit further removed. However, I think that in times like this, what people are looking for is leadership. And I think that while certainly they can relate to the leadership at the federal level, I think that the leadership at the state level is sometimes a little gray in the area. I mean, they expect the governor to say something, but they don't know exactly what the role of the legislature is. And yet they are looking to government, whether it be local, state, or federal, to not necessarily answer the questions, but so much as to give a roadmap as to how we're going to get out of the mess. And I think so often what happens is that government, instead of acting almost in an adult fashion, tend to start squabbling like children. And that makes the citizenry very uncomfortable. I think that both of those are true. I think that certainly we want more transparency in the activities, and we want the legislature to realize that citizenry are listening. But I think also there's one other piece to it, and that is we hope that it's giving the citizens an opportunity to speak, to speak the concerns they have. Because we don't, you know, we can all grumble around the water cooler about, you know, isn't things bad and the swine flu or this or that or the other. But that just vents, you know, that allows you to vent, but it doesn't necessarily give you any satisfaction. So my fellow colleagues are all complaining about the same thing, but who's doing something about it? And I hope that we hope that by putting on this event and this town hall meeting, that people will begin to feel that the questions that they have, the burning questions they have, are being answered. Exactly. That's exactly right. It's interesting because I think so often the legislature in good times just goes ahead and does whatever it does, and the citizenry doesn't care because it really doesn't affect them. But in times like this, what happens at the state level or the local level or the federal level are going to be, it's going to have a direct impact on me. Therefore, we hope that this will empower the people, as you say, to actually say, I can talk to my representative, I can express myself, and they will listen. And I think that's part of the transparency and the engagement with the legislature. I think, you know, the United States and Pennsylvania in particular has been very fortunate that we've never had a crisis like this. So we don't know what it's like. And we need to have the opportunity to re-engage with the whole governing system instead of just, well, I voted or I didn't vote. I mean, what is the voting percentage? It's less than 50%, which means that half of us aren't engaged to begin with, even in good times. Now we're in bad times and we're looking to the government for an economic bailout. We're looking to them because they're going to have to cut services, they're going to raise taxes, whatever it is. And we need to re-engage with the system just as much as they need to re-engage with us. I think that there's one aspect to this whole thing, this whole economic downturn, and all the things we hear about in the media, that doesn't allow the citizenry to get out of denial. I've still got my job, you've still got your job, therefore we don't really know what they're talking about. And I think that if anything, if people watching this town hall meeting can get a real sense of, let's recognize that we have a problem here, and that we can deny it and we can go on driving our cars or going out to eat in restaurants and go to work every day, but there are people in our community suffering. And there but for the grace of God go I. And so the question is, what are we as citizens going to do to help our fellow citizens in our communities to survive? And obviously as a philanthropic institution, the Philadelphia Foundation has to be concerned about what is going to happen to the homeless and to the hungry and to the poor who, because of the economic downturn, have become that. Before that, they were productive citizens. Now, foreclosure on their house, loss of job, whatever, has created them to be, a sad case in our community. And I hope that this program will enliven people, empower people to say, we have to do something to help our fellow community members.
I'd never thought